is Seth Rollins teasing the return and the arrival of CM Punk back to WWE. If you go on social media, the fans certainly seem to think so. Also, original plans for NXT No Mercy and the North American Championship. It was not Trick Williams who was supposed to win the North American Championship. What were the original plans for Dirty Dominic Mysterio on Saturday night? All this plus so much more right here on OTS. We are going to start off with just that, the original plans for Dominic Mysterio and the North American Championship from this past Saturday's NXT No Mercy show. Mustafa Ali got released. He was in the middle of a feud with Dominic Mysterio. He was supposed to be in the match on Saturday night with Dominic Mysterio, not Trick Williams. If that was the case, I actually watched the show. If that was the case, the show would have been a hell of a lot better. Trick Williams, not really a big fan of Trick Williams right now. I don't really see the hype in Trick Williams. I don't really deem him ready to be the North American champion. He is the new North American champion. He defeated Dominic Mysterio on Saturday night at No Mercy. However, that was not the original plan. There were some incorrect reports stating that Dominic was originally scheduled to retain over Mustafa Ali. The original reports came from Dave Meltzer. He stated that Ali was never slated to win the North American Championship. Actually, Mustafa Ali was supposed to win the North American Championship prior to his release, and this is coming from Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp. This is one of the reasons why NXT higher-ups stated to Fightful that they were frustrated by the call to release Mustafa Ali. Now, Dominic Mysterio was always slated to retain the NXT North American title over Dragon Lee on Monday Night Raw. That was on September 25th. But sources with knowledge of the situation told us that the original creative called for Mustafa Ali to cost Dragon Lee the match. I mean, what are we doing here, man? They released Ali, and they were supposed to have Ali beat Dominic and then possibly get into a feud with Dragon Lee? And then you kept that from us off NXT television? I mean, you want anything that resembles black and gold. I mean, there you go. This would have played off as Ali's teases to appear on Raw. After that, a triple threat match for the title would have been set for No Mercy, where Ali would win the North American Championship. However, things didn't work out that way. How things would have worked from that point on are unclear. But Shawn Michaels, Mustafa Ali, and NXT Creative had tented the plans for Ali on the brand going into WrestleMania season next year. Listen, man, you know, it's too little too late. Ali was such a good fucking performer that he should have already been a world champion. I don't think this story would be as exacerbated as it is right now if Ali was actually treated like the fucking performer that he is. You know, he never won a singles title in WWE, and it's a little bit more upfront and in your face as a fucked up thing that he got released because he never won a championship. And now all of a sudden you want to start pushing him and reports are coming out, oh yeah, he was supposed to beat Dominic Mysterio. That's why it's a little bit more, hey, what the fuck are we doing? If Ali had somewhat of a fruitful career in WWE, the release wouldn't be or wouldn't look as bad. But now that he hasn't won a championship, and now reports are coming out that he was slated to win the title on Saturday night, everything looks that much worse. Ali's going to find himself with the championship sooner rather than later. I do believe that Ali's one of the type of guys that's going to go out there and make it seem like WWE messed up, and it's going to be their loss. Wherever he goes, he's going to be a solid addition to the locker room and a solid addition to any television show that he's on. He's just too good. Hopefully it all comes together for him, and I wish him nothing but the best. But Dominic is getting a match tonight, rematch against Trick Williams. I don't see him winning. Maybe they put the title back on him because Rhea Ripley on Monday said, if you don't win the title, then don't come home. Meaning what? I don't know. Don't come home. No more extracurricular activities for Dominic Mysterio. And maybe he's out of the Judgment Day. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's going to be interesting to see what WWE Creative does with that decision tonight. Trick Williams versus Dominic Mysterio for the North American Championship. Kevin Nash addressed the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon divorce rumor. I want to put this to bed because people still ask me. They're reaching out to me in multiple different, aspects. JD, did you hear about this? Is it true? I'm like, how the fuck do I know? I don't know Paul Levesque personally. I don't have him on speed dial. I can't say, hey, man, what's going on, man? I mean, you really in charge. I mean, imagine I had access to Paul Levesque. I don't. Everybody's so embroiled in Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Are they getting divorced? Are they divorced? Triple H doesn't wear his wedding ring anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Like it fucking matters to you and it's going to hinder your day-to-day activity. Kevin Nash had to address this on his podcast, Click This Podcast. He is good friends with Triple H. We all know that. And he spoke about the rumor and said there is absolutely nothing to the rumor. My phone blew up because I guessed it must have come out around 3 or 4. My phone blows up and I'm thinking, oh God, who died? Wrestling news or whatever. I'm opening it up. I haven't talked to Paul in a week, so I'm thinking like, well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if the divorce was considered to be filed, it might have been something we talked about. I guess that was more important at that point. So I texted Paul. I said, you okay? Everything all right? I'm here if you need anything. He's just like, what's happening in my life? I said, social media says that you're splitting with Stephanie and you guys are getting a divorce. He responds to me, fuck it. I wish somebody would have told me before I got dragged into this JV football game and my girl's fucking cheerleading. He says, I just love to find out about what's going on in my life through the internet. And I'm sure that would upset me because he finally probably has a day off and he's with the family and he's spending time with the kids. And it's just like, no, man. It's like some trolls got to fuck with you on your day off on social media. So he's going to see his daughter in the game, cheering in the game. Steph probably that morning said, you're going to go into that shithole today. Are you going to come to the game, Paul? And yeah. And then you got to deal with life in the public eye, right? I mean, what are you going to do? There you go. Triple H said, fuck me. Fuck if I know anything. If that was the case, I wouldn't be at this fucking JV football game and my girl's fucking cheerleading. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are not getting a divorce. Stop meddling in other people's business. It's none of yours and has no effect on your daily, day-to-day activities, man. Get a life. Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan is now a free agent, leaving Impact Wrestling for the time being. He interviewed with Fightful about his free agency. He said that originally his Impact contract was supposed to be up on December 30th of last year. However, his leg injury led to him having time tacked on to his contract. Pretty basic in the world of wrestling. He says that things came down to the wire and a lot of people didn't know his contract was coming up. He said that he left on good terms and that there's always a possibility he returns to Impact as he hasn't burned any bridges anywhere with the company. He said the two sides were far apart on terms and a deal was not reached. Callihan is open to anything at this point, from writing, producing, or wrestling from a variety of companies. He feels that his experience in all facets of Revolver, his independent promotion, have helped him develop a skill set to where he knows how to do just about anything. Callihan admitted that his leg injury hampered him way more than anticipated, and he's actively getting his legs underneath him and back in shape. He feels like he should have taken more time off after the injury, but missed pro wrestling too much. I said this about Ali. I'm going to say this about Sami Callihan. Whoever picks up Sami Callihan and adds him to their locker room is going to get a fucking great addition to their brand, to their show. And he's not just a main event caliber performer. Sami Callihan also produces. Sami Callihan also runs Pro Wrestling Revolver. He's in that as far as everything, and I know this for a fact because I've spoken to him. He's in it with the graphics, the video packages. He's in charge of everything, man. Everything that you see from Pro Wrestling Revolver, it's coming directly from Sami Callihan. So I can't wait to see what he does next, man. Does he end up with AEW? I mean, that's probably a likely destination for him, but it's going to be up to Tony Khan to see if he can fit him into the TV show. I know there's a wide open story there with Jon Moxley, possibly with the Blackpool Combat Club. I'd love to see something like that. Sami Callihan would thrive in AEW if they use him properly. But we'll see what happens, man. I think that's going to be a great addition if he does end up over there, or a great addition to any locker room, no matter where he ends up. But he did say, I believe the interview comes out today, I do believe that Sami said that he would be open to anything as far as in-ring or even producing or being an agent. So you could see where his mindset is at, and the mindset is from Sami Callihan. He loves pro fucking wrestling, man. And he's going to be a great addition to any locker room. The big one, man, CM Punk. I hear from a lot of people asking me online, and I see this floating around on Twitter. Is WWE teasing CM Punk's arrival to the company? Now, we all know CM Punk fired by AEW, and there have been supposed teases on Monday Night Raw, especially coming from Seth Rollins. Now, pro wrestling geeks and historians and elitists and these people that have no lives, I don't know how they remember all this shit from fucking decades ago. There was a supposed big tease on Monday Night Raw this week because they remembered lines that CM Punk once spoke of in Ring of Honor. Many years ago, CM Punk cut a promo in Ring of Honor that used the same verbiage that was used on Raw this week with Michael Cole and Seth Rollins. This is my stage. This is my theater. You are my puppets. And I pull those marionette strings and I use your emotions and I toy with them because honestly, I get off on it, says CM Punk. That was the Punk promo. During Raw this week, Michael Cole and Seth Rollins did a segment in the ring where Cole spoke to Rollins about the names he's been known by. How about manipulator? Puppeteer at times, but it seems that this time around, you're actually the puppet. And they're trying to sell the last man standing match with Rollins and Nakamura this Saturday at Fastlane. Fans were very quick to point out the similarities in these promos, and many thought it was a CM Punk dig or even a tease of his eventual return to the company. CM Punk exacerbated these rumors by saying at his last MMA gig that he's got at least 2 months off of free time before he goes into his next thing. Whatever the fuck that means. Obviously, people align that up with Survivor Series taking place in Chicago. There's a lot to unpack here because that line was certainly very interesting. Ringside News is reporting. I don't really like Ringside News, but this is something that they had reported. Was told by a tenured member of the writing team that Seth Rollins is one of many people here who doesn't like CM Punk legitimately. If he had an idea that was a reference, then he most likely got it approved by Triple H before the show and kept it out of the script. Now, keep in mind, if anyone is going to remember CM Punk's Ring of Honor promos, it is Seth Rollins. Rollins had a good run in Ring of Honor, as you guys know, as Tyler Black, before arriving in NXT as Seth Rollins. Now, Rollins, before that, has been going on for the last couple of weeks, calling himself the best in the world. He actually said this last week on Raw in a promo to build the Nakamura match at Fastlane, calling himself the best in the world. Obviously, we all know that's CM Punk's tagline. CM Punk usually calls himself the best in the world, and a lot of people took that to be a very bold statement. Shawn Michaels, I reported this on my last extra. Shawn Michaels said during an NXT No Mercy media call with the media that Punk is very much welcome back in NXT if he wanted to come back. That doesn't mean the rest of the company is ready to bring CM Punk back and welcome him back to the company, but HBK admitted that he would welcome Punk back on NXT. He's a moneymaker. Why wouldn't I want that for my brand? And he admitted that that statement may get him into trouble. Kevin Nash also spoke about this, and he addressed the rumors around CM Punk's possible arrival back in WWE. He said this, and I quote, he hopes that it happens, and he also wants his old friend Triple H to throw him into the mix. He says this, does Nash. Please do, motherfucker. Because I'll ask Paul to put me in the Royal Rumble. I'll ask Paul to put me in that bitch, he says. I'll be on the horn tomorrow to see if we can make that happen. Sucker punch me, skinny fat boy. I apologize to the Waffle House at this point in my career for actually calling him a short order Waffle House cook. My bad. Fuck you, Phil. Yeah, I always like my wrestlers to have birthing hips. End quote. Fans are going to need to fucking get a life, okay? Number one. I don't know how you're correlating that to CM Punk's impending arrival back, making a return to the WWE. I don't know why that has anything to do with what he said last night. You know, Rollins and the WWE tend to like to play to the fans. And I'll always remember the report. I don't know when it was. I don't know in which aspect it was. Vince McMahon is still very much in charge. Vince McMahon is going to be the one to make the final decision about bringing CM Punk back to the company. It's not going to be Paul Levesque. It's not going to be William Regal. It's not going to be Kevin Dunn or Bruce Pritchard. It's going to end up on the desk of Vince McMahon, and he is the only one that's going to make the decision if he wants Punk back in the WWE or not. Ari Emanuel is going to be a part of that as well because Ari Emanuel owns the company, and obviously Punk is not going to come cheap. They're going to have to shell out the big bucks to get CM Punk back in the WWE. I don't know how people are correlating this to the return of CM Punk. Vince McMahon would never promote a match or tease a match that has the potential of not happening. He does not like to do that. So I don't see where this is correlating to CM Punk coming back to the WWE. I think fans are just getting excited because we got Jay Cargill jumping ship to WWE from AEW. We got Adam Copeland jumping ship from WWE to AEW. You know, I don't really understand it, man. The Jay thing from AEW to WWE kind of set off a string of dynamite that exploded with Adam Copeland showing up on Wrestle Dream on Sunday night, man. The community right now is absolutely a toxic dumpster fire. I mean, it's just nothing but tribalism garbage. Can you imagine if CM Punk goes back to WWE, what the WWE tribalists and the elitists are going to do? I mean, they're gonna cry that the AEW fans are weeping themselves to sleep. I don't give a fuck. Good. I'm glad Punk is back in WWE, or the likelihood of him going back there. You know, it makes me happy because the better for me, the better for my channel, the better for the views, the live streams, monetary reasons. The fuck am I going to have a problem with CM Punk going back to WWE for? I don't give a fuck. Good, I welcome it because it's going to keep me very busy for the remainder of the winter going into WrestleMania season. I can't wait for it to happen. I actually do predict it will happen. I do think that Punk will be back in WWE. I said this once, I'm going to say it again. You don't think the WWE has it on their minds about what Phil Brooks did in AEW? You don't think that they're fucking drooling at the fact to get him on WWE television so that they can make AEW look bad? It's one of the primary sells to get CM Punk back on television. Yeah, you know what? Be on your best behavior. We're going to be monitoring you. You're going to be on a short lease. But as soon as you go out there, man, the floor is yours. Keep it within the boundaries. Don't say anything too outlandish, you know, and make them look bad. Make that four-eyed geek, Tony, TK, look bad, and blast the company for a little bit, man. Make them look like amateur hour over there. Go ahead, do what you need to do. You don't think they're ready to let CM Punk do that on Monday night or Friday night? It's one of the biggest sells for him coming back to the company. Him being a hypocrite, that's a whole nother story for a completely different day. I mean, I don't think CM Punk at this point is really going to care as long as he's making the big bucks, which I'm assuming he will be. They all end up coming back anyway. It's something that he's going to have to live with. You know, his identity and his morals, is that important to him? Or is going back on everything that he stated for the last 8 or 9 years does not mean much of anything, and he's just going to take the almighty dollar to say, you know what, I want to continue wrestling. This is the only viable place for me. I want this match with him, and I want a WrestleMania main event. Fuck it. Fuck it. 9 years. I mean, that's a long time to have a gripe. Let's put this to the side and let's make it water under the bridge. He's going to have to live with that. He's going to have to fucking lay his head down at night and think about that. Not us. I don't give a fuck. As long as I'm making some fucking money and I'm keeping my channel thriving and growing, man, I don't fucking care. If you think this is a CM Punk, you know, tease for him coming back, fine. Whatever floats your boat and whatever entertains you to get through the day. But what I look at is not this type of shit. I look at it from a business perspective. Is CM Punk and WWE going to be big business? Yes. Does WWE want to do big business? Yes. With the first WrestleMania under the Endeavor umbrella, do they want to do big business? Do they want it to be the biggest fucking show in the history of shows? Yes. Rock is probably going to be there. Stone Cold is a huge possibility. CM Punk? I don't see why WWE would not do business at this point with CM Punk and vice versa. Guys, thank you very much for all your support. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think these little one-liners on Raw have anything to do with the arrival and the return of CM Punk back to WWE? Let me know what you think down below. The comment section is yours. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on the way out as well, and follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Guys, I'll see you tonight live, episode 16 with my guy, Andrew Baydala, Tuesday Night Titans, right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.